Hello, everybody. Welcome to TDL America's Pro Series 30. We're kicking things off the qualifier round between R10 and Empyrean Eagles. This is going to be a best of three. Winner moves on to the group stage, which will start right after this. We are into our draft for game number one.
5 seconds.
See what we got.
It is Radiant's ban.
Timbersaw going to be the first to fall in our opening phase of bans. Here has been an absolute menace out of the mid or off lanes.
5 seconds.
Empyrean Esports do not want to see it. Doom going to be taken out by R10. I have not seen quite as much Doom lately, personally, but still in a pretty solid spot.
5 seconds.
Working with that, because it's not a super new change anymore, the regen canceling from the ultimate. Maybe looking at a regen heavy hero that they're planning to pick up on R10. Gonna ban out the Lina as well.
10 seconds. 5 seconds remain. Radiant's turn to battle.
Nature's Prophet gonna be taken out. Absolutely very powerful support. Want to get off the table.
5 seconds.
Dude just wins basically all three lanes at once from the support position when not dealt with, so not a hero that Empyrean want to deal with here. Empyrean won the coin flip, took the first pick. R10 took Radiant side, so pretty standard procedures there.
It is Radiant's ban.
Get the Vengeful Spirit banned out by R10.
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds.
Yeah, one last ban here. It's going to be the tiny little bit of a flex hero ban. Seeing Tiny in a lot of roles lately. Mostly like mid or position 4, but can slot into the carry position as long as you have additional damage coming out of your mid laner. I feel like it's something we've been seeing more of again, is the kind of carry mid lane potential. So definitely works well into that kind of draft. Tusk is going to be the last ban. Another troublesome ganking support, and it's going to be the Rubik picked up first by Empyrean. This is a fun first pick because it really puts pressure on R10 now to be careful about how they go about their entire draft. Because you don't want to get something that's too scary to play into a Rubik.
5 seconds remain.
But you also can't just not draft any good spells.
It is Dire's ban.
They're going to respond to it with the Spirit Breaker. They know Rubik's going to be looking to sit in the backline for the most part. They're going to answer right away with this mobile backline jump potential hero. I like it. Just looking at Empyrean's bans between the Nature's Prophet and the Tusk, you know that they don't want to deal with this kind of support hero. If the Spirit Breakers in support could also go into the off lane or the mid lane. Yeah, they like the Nature's Prophet ban tells me they don't want a hero that can create a lot of global pressure, and Spirit Breaker can do that. Not quite as well, but just about as well. Faceless and Slark going to be the bans in the second phase for Empyrean, so targeting that carry role next.
10 seconds. 5 seconds.
Not necessarily heroes that they laden with the Spirit Breaker, so probably thinking the Spirit Breaker is more likely in the 4 position. In which case we might see a ranged offlaner like a Viper, Necro, or Death Prophet coming out for R10. One more ban before we get into the meat of the draft with the middle phase. Who they're going to look at. If they go towards a carry man as well, they're going to ban the Centaur. Would be a nice offlaner to pair with the Rubik. Big tanky frontliner for the Rubik to sit behind. So I like that ban.
Ten seconds remain.
Now we'll see. R10 likely just going to grab another support here. Again, assuming that's where the Spirit Breaker is going. But still have that flex potential for the Space Cow. Eating up a bit more of that reserve time, trying to make sure they start off this second phase the perfect hero. It's going to be the Pugna. Get them some tower push potential. Yeah, most likely going to be in the support role for the Pugna as well. Again, a bit of flex potential. Empyrean going to pick up a very strong support in the patch, the Lion, and followed up with a Morphling. Lion and Rubik a little bit similar in the support role. Often played in the 4 role, so I'm curious which one's going to end up position 5. Both are pretty fine going in the 5 position as well, so it shouldn't be a problem for them. Either one of them can lane with the Morphling, who will be the carry. Yeah, pretty safe Morphling pick to show your carry this early. There are still some heroes that can be scary for it. You could pivot the Spirit Breaker to a core and pick up an Ancient Apparition. You at least have a lot of the nuke protected. The fact that you have the Rubik and Lion means the Morphling doesn't have to be as scared. And the Lina banned out by R10 as well.
Radiant's turn to pick.
They are going to grab the Ancient Apparition on R10. To get that significant counter pick for the Morphling. A little scary now to play the Morph into the Ancient Apparition. We need to fully cancel the health that you would get back from shifting into Strength.
5 seconds remain.
I'm guessing this means the Spirit Breaker now goes into offlane or mid. But it could be the Pugna going to the core role as well. And there's the outside chance you play like a mid-Ancient Apparition, but I don't think that's what R10 is going to do for.
Dyer's turn to pick.
It's going to be the Pangolier, so that's probably your mid lane. So I think this is going to be a Spirit Breaker Pugna off lane. And they're going to save their carry for overall last pick. It's a little interesting. They had the potential to optimize their
10 seconds
mid matchup, which a lot of teams will prioritize, but R10 actually favoring
5 seconds.
Getting that overall last pick carry. Confident that whatever Empyrean Esports is going to put up. Grab the Brewmaster, so that'll be their offlane. They're going to save their mid laner for the last phase. It's also interesting because now that you see the Pangolier, you kind of know your mid matchup, and you're just going to give R10 a chance to ban a couple more mid heroes. But also, like if you pick a mid laner, then there's a good chance the Brewmaster gets banned out. This is a super strong offlaner. It is definitely going to be a problem for heroes like the Ancient Apparition to be able to bring down. It's a pretty nice answer to the AA, because does the Ice Blast work at all against the Pandas? I'm not sure, but it's a way to survive the Ice Blast for sure. If you just Primal Split, then I'm really not sure. For as much as I've played Ancient Apparition, I don't remember the interaction with Brewmaster because I don't run into those as often. Last ban phase, Empyrean Esports going to go for the Luna ban, R10 taking away the Ember Spirit and Puck, some of the more problematic mid matchups for their Pangolier. Also just really strong mid laners in general right now. Ember Spirit feels like he's pretty back with some of the changes that they've given him after
10
the
seconds
nerfs
remain.
last year.
5 seconds.
So he's never an easy mid laner to deal with. Yeah, likely one more carry ban here from Empyrean. Luna ban makes sense with the Pugna for additional tower pressure, and then the like fighting pressure that you have from Pangolier and Spirit Breaker. You have a big potential to get run over from a pick like Luna. We might see another more early game carry band out here like the Luna. Not even necessarily early game, but just the high push potential.
Dire's turn to pick.
It's gonna be this Fen. Doesn't necessarily shred towers, but shreds creep waves, so a bit in that direction. We should get Empyreans mid here, unless they're doing something spicy. I mean, Morphling and Brewmaster are fine to go into the mid lane. Either of the supports technically can too.
Remain.
Got a good amount of time to think about it compared to R10's 1 second left on the reserve. See what these guys want. I'm trying to think what you like into the Pangolier. Empyrean manned out the Timber Saw. I feel like that's a solid option. Maybe like a Queen of Pain. You wouldn't mind something more durable, though. With a Morphling carry and 2 squishy backline supports. I feel like you want something that's more of a frontliner. You could go something straightforward like a Dragon Knight, but he's not going to have a good time into the Internet Potion. It's hard to find a tanky hero that's going to enjoy playing into the AA. You'd want something kind of dive heavy too. Maybe you just go with Spirit. Took away Ember Spirit, but there's still... You go like Void Spirit has been pretty solid lately. You go for the Earth Shaker, so it is going to be a more durable frontliner. Also with gank potential, because when you're on the mid Earthshaker, you're going to get a Blink Dagger and or an Aghanim Scepter quite quickly. This Earthshaker Pango matchup is a trademark of like 6 months ago. So it's going to be a fun one to roll back and watch. R10 going to round out their draft with the carry of Baden. This hero's been an absolute menace. And that's going to spell some trouble for some of these heroes. Able to run down and silence the Brewmaster. Like, you have to make sure that you get your Primal Split off before those 4 stacks of the Curse of Avernus get on you. I like this last pick of Baden. Also gives you a nice front line for your Pugna and AA to sit behind. Yeah, I'm liking this R10 draft. I think Empyrean have their work cut out for them a bit, but definitely have the potential. They've got 2 super high damage supports. And Brewmaster and Earthshaker, along with those supports, are going to be able to make a ton of space for this Morphling. Yeah, I think I favor the R10 draft a bit. Quite a bit of good sets here. I like this Abba set they've got going. Full sword. We get the TDL Classic pause as soon as the game starts, full team disconnect, leaving me with even more time to fill before the game actually starts. So we got Virgil on the Rubik, Senku on Earthshaker, who, yeah, we'll be heading into that mid lane. Cam CDC is on the Morphling, carry role, Karma on the Brewmaster offlane. 5-branch build. 3-branch, 2 circlet. It's all about the stats for these starting items. Earthshaker 5 branches as well, plenty of room. Save up for the bottle. Yeah, Kuroko Berserk going to round things off on the line. Side of R10, we got Grant XD. I believe the last TDL I was casting, we had Grant XD on a different team. I think iSonic was playing with them as well. Fun to see the bit of shakeups that happen in our rosters between weeks. Been a little bit longer because we actually have TDL Americas and TDL Asia happening both this weekend. So definitely check out the TDL site to see, and the TDL Discord is, I think, the best place to find casts for all of the series that are going on. Tons of Dota action for us this weekend.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
I've been timing this off. iSonic on the Ancient Apparition, Azrael on the Pugna, Moracle on the Abaddon, Tala on the
It's all
Pangolier,
coming together.
and Grant XD on the Spirit Breaker.
Wow.
So the matchup of Moracle versus Kuroko in this game, which is a fun dynamic.
Masterful mark.
Thank you, Tala, for the laugh voice line. It smokes up, as is also tradition, on either side. See where these teams want to position themselves as we finally get things started. You're maybe going to be able to find Kuroko here. Smokes are going to pop. Oracle spots it out, but Kuroko going to back up. They'll steal the Watcher back. Kuroko just going to sit back further. The smoke didn't pop on anybody else. It is going to run out now. XD's checking things out, going to spot out. 4 heroes sitting in the mid lane. Kuroko trying to scout out any vision as well. Hell gonna place the ward after the line leaves. Clever work to get away with that ward there. Hiding in the trees. Looks like things are gonna be pretty chill for our rune grabbing. 2 and 2 each side getting their respective runes as normal. iSonic gonna get that early block on the pole camp. It's gonna be Virgil lining up on the Rubik with the Morphling in the safe lane. This Abaddon lane sounds not fun to play into. I think Karma's going to be in a bit of trouble trying to get their game started in the lane. Brewmaster is a pretty difficult laner to deal with as well. And line. Isonic going to walk into a bit of trouble. Going to get stunned up. Slowed down by the Thunderclap, but able to walk away with a decent chunk of health. Up top, KMCDC gonna have to play a little careful around this Pugna. Has that nuke potential, even from level 1 with the Nether Blast. 5 denies already on Senku. A little insane. Stun up Tala under the tower. The Enchant Totem is so good for Earthshaker's Lightning. MCDC. Being brought a little low, but it's always hard to tell when a Morphling's about to die. It's like Kuroko a little low as well. Backing off on Lion. Get charged forward on KMCDC into the Nether Blast. Just providing a little pressure. Well, not going to be enough to bring a Morphling down. First set of Water Runes going to be up. No bottles yet on either side, so Senku and Tala not exactly prioritizing running over to grab those runes. I think Tala thinking about it now. I'm going to pull this creep wave over with them. Oracle already pretty low on mana on the Abaddon. Not going to have as many aphotic shields to be able to purge off the slows and the stuns from the Brewmaster and Lion. R10 enjoying this top lane so far. Virgil trying to back away from the harass Bazrael. Probably going to sneak over, grab that Water Rune. Actually going to be able to wait for the bottle to arrive, so that's a pretty nice refill, and we miss first blood.
You've just achieved first blood.
As is tradition. Actually, the Abaddon going down, and Kuroko now looking for more on Isonic. Isonic going to chase back a little bit. Karma and Kuroko both low off of that first blood. And yeah, just taking a lot of hits. 229 creep damage, so been caught in a little bit of a hard place there. Isonic gonna get stunned up. Tiny bit of a mana drain from Kuroko. Oracle back with full health and mana though, wants to look for something on Karma and Kuroko. Now set up on a nice aphotic shield from Oracle to save Isonic. Kuroko trying to back away. Is going to be able to escape for now. KMCDC still doing fine on this Morphling up top.
That should help.
Senku up to 18 and 13, now 19. Insane last hitting with that Enchant Totem. Getting Tala off to a tough start. About a half a level ahead now in XP thanks to those denies. Oracle gonna get stunned up as Kuroko TP's back to the lane. Mana drain, pretty annoying to deal with, but has the wand to help restore some of that mana. Isonic sitting low as well. Grab a bound here and salve up. XD may be in a little bit of trouble, is potentially going to fall. A nice little decrep from Azrael to stop the attacks from KMCDC. Is going to force Grent to TP home, but has the charge, so Spirit Breaker will not be out of the lane for long. Nice advantage of that hero. Oracle going to take a bit of heat now from the stuns and slows, the mana drain as well. Dealing damage now since the latest update to the Lion. Stunned up again as they chase under tower. Throw down the brew. Kuroko is going to most likely fall, taking the tower damage, but going to be able to trade for Moracle and even gets the kill first on Karma, so that's a very nice trade for Empyrean. Virgil's going to make the rotation down through the Twin Gate as well.
Thanks for playing.
Karma not going to quite get stunned up by the Chilling Touch, but Azrael now going to answer the rotation from Virgil. Gets the Nether Blast, gets the Blood Grenade, and able to finish off Karma, so they'll at least get that trade. Nice rotation from Azrael. Gonna have some fun in the mid lane now. Kuroko making their way over, likely getting that bottle fill for Senku.
I'll take that.
iSonic going to do the same for Tala. Now these supports that were squaring off in the bot lane, they're just going to both square off around mid. Senku has the Echo Slam ready, Tala not at level 6 yet. Has to play a little bit careful on the Pango. If you sit too much in the creep wave, Senku can look for the big slam. And the Enchant Totem damage alone, already scary at level 3. No need for the Fissure yet. Brent XT, getting a good amount of damage from KMCDC. Able to safely shift into Agi without a support here, but Tala looking to make a rotation, see if they can find a kill on this Morphling. He's now sitting very low. Brent XT maybe could charge here. Ends up canceling it. Tala has the level 6. Virgil off on the side though. No 6 on the Rubik yet, of course. They're gonna scout this out, so Tala looks like they're not gonna find much up here. They're just gonna make their way back towards mid lane. Down bot, Morkel doesn't seem to mind the alone time in the lane, getting that solo XP. Burning off his Karma. Kuroko maybe gonna look to apply some more pressure this bad. Actually just walk right under tower. Sides better of it afterwards. Up top, they find a nice pickoff from the new potential between the Morphling and the Rubik. Brent XD going to fall. Lift into just so much instantaneous damage. Fade Bolt, Waveform, and some attacks. Empyrean Eagles off to a good start for themselves. Azrael gonna steal the rune, but now in a bit of trouble. They're gonna get the Echo Slam down to finish off Pugna. Tala in the Rolling Thunder, so doesn't take too much damage. Rubik gets pushed up to the high ground, but Tala does a nice job with the Swashbuckle to finish off the Rubik. And now they're gonna look towards Senku, who has a big lead. They can bring this guy down. It'll be pretty nice for them. iSonic and Kuroko making their rotation over the mid lane as well. Tala looking for more. Swashes under the tower, but not able to quite finish off the Shaker. Senku will survive for the moment at least. Get the bottle refill as Virgil respawns. Now both supports for Empyrean in the area. See if they want to put some pressure on R10. We're actually going to smoke up and look towards bot lane. No Echo Slam for a bit longer, but Senku, with just the Enchant Totem, potentially looking to find a kill on Morkel, who does have the level 6 now. They get the stun up. Karma following up with the Cinder Brew. Morkel now going to get the ult off. They're going to be in some trouble as they pop the Brewlings. Primal Split running down the Evadin. It looks like Morkel likely to fall. iSonic here trying to slow down the Brewlings. Trying to dodge out, but they get the stun up. They get pushed back. Has an Aphotic Shield, so living for quite a while, but finally Morkel goes down. Karma maybe looking to trim this. Tala has the Rolling Thunder back up, runs down Karma. Now going to continue to roll. Doesn't quite connect on Kuroko, who snags the Lotus. Now Tala can be stunned up as the Rolling Thunder ends. Able to Swashbuckle away, but that mana drain is big. Doesn't have the mana for a shield crash on top of the Swashbuckle. Trying to escape. Gonna keep chasing this. Morkel back off the respawn. Runs right into Virgil, and it looks like Empyrean going to choose to back off now. The bit of chaos ends up being the Abaddon for the Brewmaster. So honestly not bad for R10 there. I think now we're going to see Morkel try to escape the party lane. Virgil continuing to apply the pressure. Circle in the area as well. Now going to pick up that aphotic shield. Really nice steal for the support. And they cliff Moracle. Oh no. Doesn't have a TP for 40 seconds. The Abaddon's just going to be stuck here. There's no Force Staffs in the game yet. They don't really have a way to get this guy down. They're just going to tee off on him. Very nice cliff from Virgil. Moracle forced to use the borrowed time, but just kind of trapped up here and now going to get stunned up and gradually brought down. Very nice play from Virgil. Ice Blast now with Brent, gonna connect, looking for the kill on Karma, doesn't have the Primal split yet and is going to fall, so once again, it's the Abaddon for the Brewmaster.
Killing spree.
Trade over in the mid lane though, Senku going to pick up the solo kill on Tala. Like another Echo Slam getting used there to bring down... Yeah, that is the Echo Slam and just tons of Aftershock damage. Finds the kill on the Pango. Switch over to our net worth graph. Yeah, no surprise that the Earthshaker's out in front. Has that Blink Dagger on the way. So this is going to be a scary threat from the mid Earthshaker.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger.
We've got Mana Boots done on Azrael.
Bottom tower is no more.
Brent XG has
little hope for
Phase
Dire's
Boots
middle
looking
tower.
towards... And with just the Gloves of Haste, maybe
Dire's
going
middle
Midas on
tower
this guy, which
is
I think
under
has been a bit standard on the Spearbreaker. Is now they're going to set up mid lane with their Rolling Thunder and Ice Blast. It's a deadly combo, and it's going to bring down Senku off of the back of the Pugna kill. So a very nice trade for R10 there. Keeping this game close. Get into another pause. Actually, time the pause this time because I think this is the same team. Yeah, this is the same team that D. Let's see. Diffusal Blade almost finished on the Pangolier. 800 rolled away. We'll have that soon. It's going to be a huge spike in power and damage.
You're in over your head.
What else are we working with here? Lincoln's being looked at by the Morphling, still ways off from that. That'll give them nice protection from... Honestly, what does it block? It blocks the Spirit Breaker, but that can get popped anywhere by the Charge of Darkness. Blocks the Cold Feet, but I don't think you care about that too much with the waveform. Mist Coil is never really a problem from the Abaddon. A little bit of a weird Lincoln's game, I feel like. Oh, it blocks the life drain. That's pretty big. It's probably worth it for the life drain. And it can definitely be annoying for the Spirit Breaker to have Charge of Darkness get blocked.
The true heroes are the ones who wait over.
Brent XD
Radiant should look to their middle tower.
farm down here where the Morphling is. There's actually a charge from Rubik coming. This is going to connect with the Morphling. Actually gets a nice bash to start things off, but Brent XD is just going to get brought down. Nice play from Virgil showing off on the Rubik. Re-ups on the Charge of Darkness.
That should help.
I'll maybe looking for something on Kuroko. It's the initial Swashbuckle. Sonic going to follow up with the magic damage. Nice stun from Kuroko to survive for now. We'll finally bring it down. Virgil connects with the charge. They have the Primal Split, bringing Sonic low. Gonna get the Ice Blast off before they fall, but doesn't quite connect. Tala now stunned up by the Echo Slam. Azrael in trouble as well, and Empyrean Eagles going to bring down 3 heroes in response to their Lion falling.
Top tower is under attack.
So a very nice fight for them, and they're going to look to convert that into a mid tower. To bring all 3 cores to the mid lane. R10 will delay it for now with the Fortify. Looks like this tower is going to fall. The Master going Midas Radiance.
Radiant's middle tower is no more.
I think with the space they're getting, they can get away with a greedy build like that. They smoke up after the tower kill.
Money changes.
He's got a haste turn ready to go on Senku as well. They want to look for more. Line drawn out to wrap around. Be a pretty good kill if they can find Tala and get behind them. They're going to initiate on Karma. Actually going to get here a little bit before the rest of the team can. Chain stuns into the Ice Blast. Can he bring him down? Doesn't have the Primal split up. Azrael is actually going to be the first to fall now. They will get the return kill on Virgil. Karma survives the Ice Blast. Now Tala getting brought low as KMCDC rotates over. Azrael finishes off Kuroko just with the Nether Ward. Tala does eventually fall, and now they find Isonic, and Senku picks up a triple kill. Now it takes 2 supports, but they once again trade it for 3 heroes on the side of R10.
Radiant's middle tower is
Green
under
Eagles
attack.
furthering their lead up to 4K in this game. To get 500 gold net worth advantage out of that fight. Lincoln's is ready on KMCDC. Oh, Spirit Breaker is a really nice morph target to have. Empyrean playing the full we're stealing your heroes lineup with Morphling and Rubik. Thing. You thought you had a good draft. That's our draft now. Thank you. Up top, we're going to have an Echo Slam that I slightly missed because I'm scratching my head. Yep, Blink, Echo. Fissure leveled now. That kills a Pangolier. Meanwhile, though, like, Karma, I am missing kills left and right. Karma's going to get brought down. Finished off by the Ice Blast.
Invisibility.
They connect with the charge set up from Moracle. In Mizrune on Senku, they're going to look to connect onto Moracle. No vision there, but just running away from the Rubik, probably sussing out that there's at least one other hero in the area. Senku actually going for the BKB before the Aghanim Scepter. Wants to be protected from a lot of those big magic abilities and stuns that they have on the side of R10.
Dire should look to their top tower.
I'm getting close to that Radiance. Still ways to go with it. That will really turbocharge the farm of this Brewmaster. Kuroko has the Blink Dagger ready on Lion. And where are we on the Blink Dagger? Still ways off. Looks like the Glimmer Cape is on its way out. Yeah. I'm not going to quite have the crazy Blink squad, but just the Earthshaker line is a really scary pair of heroes to be able to blink on you at any
The
time.
Dire stand on the hunt for radiant forces.
Tala working on a Blink Dagger of their own, about halfway there. Havis done on Azrael's Pugna. Actually looking at a Glimmer Cape before finishing that into the Solar Crest. The Solar Crest is going to be really nice for your carry. That in.
Tower.
Spirit Breaker and Pango don't mind it either. Protection from the physical damage that's coming out from the
Dire's
Morphling
middle
attacks
is
and
under
the
attack.
Primal Split
Eager to
attacks.
know Dire's whereabouts.
Azrael going to get blinked on Echo Slam, looking for the quick pick. As the Pavis so able to back away, but gets lifted up, brought back. brought down. Nether Blast stolen. That is going to be a ton of damage for Virgil. 3 levels in the Arcane Supremacy. 22% spell amplification on the Nether Blast. Means this Rubik can blow people up. They look like they want to make something happen around mid. They're going to smoke up. Head towards bot. There's not many heroes to find. There's a smoke on the opposite side. Brent and iSonic going to connect with Tala as well. Empyrean Eagles wrapping through the jungle. So they want to try to go up into the high ground of the triangle. It doesn't look like it. Now just making their way towards the mid lane. Both teams fully dodging each other with these smokes. So nothing going to come of them. Both sides. Just completely opposite sides of the map. And they're going to push out their respective lanes that they've found themselves in. And CDC already farming down here. The Empyrean meets up with their Morphling. Yeah, here comes the damage from that Nether Blast on the Rubik. As the 4th level in Arcane Supremacy. This tower is going to get brought down much faster than the Radiant push up top. Did you have the curse on the towers from Oracle? They finish off the tower, they're going to rotate Virgil up here to try to defend, combine it with the Fortify. They get the Fissure onto Moracle, going to separate them from Tala. Senku up on the high ground, go into the Rolling Thunder, set up, and Senku has the BKB. They get the stuns up. No mana for Echo Slam. Here comes the Ice Blast, going to connect onto Kuroko and the Spirits. Does affect the Spirits, I was wondering that earlier. Tala getting controlled, brought back. Senku connects with the Echo Slam, and at the end of the day, it's going to be 2 heroes falling. Azrael getting away with 0 health. Nice TP from the Pugna, but it's going to be 2 cores falling on R10. Empyrean doing a very nice job taking advantage of the Nether Blast on the Rubik to evaporate that tower and make their rotation up to save their own. Following it up with a pair of kills that pushes them further into the lead.
Money changes hands.
A nice, slow curve towards the dire side as Empyrean play a pretty clean game here. Oh, iSonic teleport away just in time. I don't even think KMCDC was looking for a hero there, just going up for the kill. Going to get another strike from Grunt XD out onto Karma. Kuroko getting brought low, Moracle chasing forward a bit as well. All going to drop down the Rolling Thunder, going to be able to take advantage of this Fissure here. One danger of the Pango Earthshaker matchup, and they're going to be able to bring down the Brewmaster. Moracle already done with borrowed time though, and is going to fall in trade. So like we were seeing in the early game, it's yet another Abaddon Brewmaster trade. Somehow the tankiest hero on either side is the only one that dies, and this has happened multiple times. But I guess with the amount of damage these teams have, with Ice Blast, it's a game where no hero is particularly tanky. You have all of this damage. And no, like, with the Radiance build, and with the Abaddon in the safe lane, you really don't have an Aura builder on either team. Both sides going with ranged, high damage magic supports, which are certainly, like, strong heroes right now, but it just leaves you with nobody who wants to buy a Pipe of Insight in a game where there's tons of magic damage. And that's why we're seeing heroes like Abaddon and Brewmaster able to fall. Iron Eagles maybe looking to set up around the Roche pit. It does look like that's what they're going to do. First we're getting some vision down, and KMCDC goes right into the pit with the Manta Illusions. Radiance on Karma also going to help them tank through this. They're going to spot this out to some degree. Tala considers TPing over, but decides to think better of it. They're going to get the Ice Blast in. It's not going to be quite perfect timing to steal the Roche, but see if it's enough to discourage Empyrean Eagles from finishing it off. It doesn't look like it will be. Karma is going to get brought low. A little scary, but the Ice Blast wears off now, and the Aegis is secured for their Morphling. Senku, the first on the other side of the map. See if they want to fight immediately off of this. Gonna walk into Moracle. Has a shield rune for a while, so pretty scary. Hard to deal with Earthshaker running at you.
That should help.
Tala's up here in the area as well, just trying to sneak away after getting some farm in the Mighty Mines.
Time, you are but a blur.
We have a Gem of True Sight for the Rubik. That's going to help deal with, I mean, mostly for warding, but also you've got the Shadow Blade on Grunt XD. As maybe going to walk up into Moracle. I think they're just going to push out the lanes. Evaden will be able to walk away fine. Charge out, not going to connect. They throw down the fissure. It looks like this tower is going to fall. Not a lot that R10 can do to save it. They are going to use the life drain to clear out some of the Manta Illusions, but it's not going to be enough to stop the push. The mid-tier 2 tower picked up, the second tier 2 tower that Empyrean will find as they continue. Again, just a pretty clean game of Dota for them. Quick little pause by R10.
Seeks resolution.
And get right back into things.
Radiant's top
Grunt
tower
XD
is
looking
under attack.
towards an Octarine core to get even more charges and Nether Strikes out. Gem passed over to the Brewmaster. Have that even harder to be removed from your team. Now, yeah, you do have the Brewmaster as a good aura hero. Looks like now transitioning towards that role after the Radiance. Working on Pipe and Insight to negate a lot of that damage coming out from R10. They clean up the last of the outer towers on the Radiant side of the map. I'm gonna think about a high ground push. They've still got 2 minutes on this Aegis. So the door is open. Still a difficult patch to push up high ground into. Looks like they are gonna back off for now. Their lead isn't massive, so they do have to be careful about how they go into the high ground. So I think they're just going to play the patient game here. Aghanim Scepter is ready on Senku, who's actually getting charged. They're going to look to connect with this. The TP from Tala. Senku maybe getting a little caught doing some chopping. As the Ice Blast lands, they have the Shard on the Ice Blast for a stun as well. Now Senku going to get BKB and Glimmer Cape, and they're going to try to turn this around.
Killing spree.
Brent XD goes down as they connect with the Primal Split. Azrael in trouble as well. Actually gets fissured up to the high ground I think that saves them. Yeah, Azrael gonna get away. The TP, they'll now get a few heroes up onto the cliff themselves. Is Karma... Okay, no, they have the Astral Pull. That's able to get them back down off the high ground. It ends up just being with Spirit Breaker that falls. This potentially opens up the high ground, but the death timer isn't that long. So in just a few seconds, they're going to have a Spirit Breaker again. 25 seconds to go on the Aegis, so we'll see how much Empyrean actually able to get here. KMCDC. They will fire a little bit, deciding if they want to try to burn the Aegis before it runs out. They are going to get the tier 3 tower. It's like now they'll be forced to back away, but Virgil is in with another strike. Follow it up with the Echo Slam onto Azrael. Virgil's going to go down. They get the Ice Blast onto Karma. Aegis expires. And I think they're going to choose to back away. No, they want to go further. The Pugna down. That's another 30 seconds where they get to push. R10, they're going to look for the counterfight. Charge through, and the Rolling Thunder. Getting some damage, but now they're going to push it back with the Stolen Charge. Damn CDC. And no kills will be found. Empyrean will choose to back away. RedXT gonna charge up towards Karma. Morkel and Tala not far behind. Heck with another strike into the Harpoon. Get the silence up. This Curse of Avernus is brutal, and they shred Karma. Zabatin does not care about your Radiance. Manta and Harpoon online means almost instant silence from the Curse of Avernus. Very difficult to deal with. And tons of damage to go with it. See, we got Force Staff done on iSonic. Looking to just go a Hex next. Trying to find an option for more control in these fights. Scotty done on the Morphling. This guy's pretty huge. Up at the top of the charts for a while. 18k net worth. There's going to be a smoke. They're going to charge onto the Morphling. Connect with the Ice Blast. This is what you picked the hero for. This Morphling going to be in trouble. Tries to waveform away, but Tala has the Rolling Thunder to chase down. Rest of Empyrean going to try to connect. Ice Blast, oh, just in time. That Ice Blast was about to wear out, but the Morphling goes down. iSonic now, nice heals from Azrael, but now going to get stunned up into a beautiful Echo Slam from Senku. Stuns up both supports and brings them down. RenTXT going to reconnect onto the backline of Empyrean, though. Senku trying to jump away. They bring down Kuroko. They get a stolen borrowed time off on Rubik. But that's going to expire, and it looks like Virgil's going to go down as well. GrentXD finishes off the kill, so pretty nice fight from R10. They trade both supports on their side for the two supports, plus the Morphling. They have 2k gold in their pockets off of one little fight. So suddenly, R10 with a big flash of hope as their heroes are coming online. They get a great connection off of the smoke. Yeah, GrentXD got the gem off of the kill on Karma. They found that top lane.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Double damage in the bottle on a Batten. Tala passing the bottle over, but they can save that up on Moracle.
I'll take that.
smoke up on Empyrean, but unless they go through the Twin Gate, they're not going to find much down here. Make their way. They will get some good vision down. Looks like they are going to go through the Twin Gate. I think they saw at least one hero on the wave up top. iSonic could be in a little bit of trouble. They don't end up going through the gate. You get the vision there, but they stay farming in this area. It's going to be opposite sides of the map for now. Thinking about it, Roche also respawns in 15 seconds. We'll see if Karma ends up seeing this. They wait here long enough. They know that it's about to be up. I'm sure they're doing a great job keeping track of their timings. Yeah, they're just going to wait for it. Karma's going to watch it respawn right now. Kings it out and gets it started. So this should be a pretty easy Roche for Empyrean. It's like iSonic maybe trying to encourage R10 to go try to contest it. Gate. Doesn't a super fast Roche. They're going to hear the roar now, so they know that's being contested. And CDC hitting as well. Means that it's going to start going down faster. Looks like R10 are going to choose not to contest it. They're going to go for this high ground push instead. Just about, yeah, the illusions from the Abaddon will do it. Brings down the tier 3 tower. That'll be Roche in response for the side of Empyrean. Both teams kind of getting the objective that they want. Honestly, not sure who likes that better. I think it favors Empyrean a bit. R10, you could have taken that tower another time. I don't know if they actually have the tools to take a 5-man fight in Roche, though. But I mean, you have an Ancient Apparition. You connect with an Ice Blast, and everybody gets in there. You have to be wary of the Earthshaker, but otherwise, I feel like it's a good opportunity to contest that Roche. Is Sonic gonna leave the Wisdom Rune for their Abaddon? Get the bigger levels on the carry. Working on the MKB to get through that Radiance even easier. Lincoln Sphere done on Earthshaker. Even harder for Grunt XD to find their way into the fights with the charge and Nether Strikes. Also has a Lincoln Sphere of their own. Up top, they're going to find Karma, and once again, that Curse of Avernus, the silence. It's way too much. They don't even need the Ice Blast to come in on the back end. They spot out KMCDC here as well. Grunt XD knows that they can't charge them due to the Lincolns. Oracle going to come in as well. Actually charge the chem next to him. Now Tala connects with the Rolling Thunder. KMCDC getting controlled up. Try to waveform away, but Tala's in the perfect position and they find the Aegis. Beautiful positioning on the Rolling Thunder. Brewmaster going to buy back so that they can contest this. And now Empyrean going to look to chase. Get the Glimmer Cave. Nice blink away from Moracle. Rent XD trying to escape. Senku trying to chase down. Throws down the Echo Slam. Rent XD kiting away nicely. Fissure is going to connect on Azrael, but has the Glimmer Cape, so going to survive for now. Meanwhile, topside, they're continuing to chase Grunt. They break the Lincoln Sphere, and now just going to get a nice charge away, but the lift up from Virgil is there. And this is going to be a dead Spirit Breaker. A nice Ice Blast. Stuns up 3. Kuroko may be in trouble. Azrael maybe wants to find something, but just going to TP away, fully hidden by the trees. So we'll be able to do so successfully, and Kuroko will survive. All in all, though, I mean, with the Brewmaster buyback, is it worth it to only get the Spirit Breaker kill? I'm not sure. Gives them an opportunity to look for something here, but without the Aegis, they're not going to want to push. They know the Spirit Breaker probably has buyback.
Bottom tower is under attack.
We have Butterfly on the Morphling. But Abaddon already has the MKB. Nice pickup for the ABBA. Now look to solo a Tormentor, but without borrowed time off cooldown, it's a little bit scary. Looks like R10 going to make their way over. Oh god, they have the Mindbreaker on Abaddon too. So you're just... there's no chance to not be silenced if this guy touches you. You get the Shard on the Abaddon, some Mist Coil also going to apply. A Curse stack. And extra slow on the Curse, which is not nothing. Right, gonna look to charge, they set up on Karma, and yeah, the silence is absolutely devastating for this Brewmaster. Ace not going to quite hit the mark as Tala chases forward with their Rolling Thunder. Moracle looking to connect, but they're going to sit up on this high ground. Lincoln from Moracle immediately onto Kuroko, who gets brought down instantly. Game CDC just going to try to waveform away. They pop the borrowed time. Haiku sitting on the Echo Slam. Tala continues to chase with the Blink. And the Swashbuckle. Moracle now chasing forward. A charge going to connect. This is going to find Virgil as well. R10 making it happen. Doesn't have the borrow time, and now Moracle gets blown up. Now they get to turn this fight. Grent trying to back away. They have the charge back stolen on the Morphling. Senku jumping forward with the Aghanims. Isonic can get stunned up by the Fissure. The Ancient Apparition is going to get brought down. MCDC charging forward. They're morphed into the Spirit Breaker. Now looking towards Tala. They have him morph back up. 16-second morph duration talent means be another hero very frequently. Still chasing forward onto Tala. They're going to find the Pangolier. No chance to escape from the Morphling and Earthshaker. So that ends up being huge for Empyrean. It's 3 for 3 at the end of the day, but they get the better kills, finding both the Abaddon and the Pangolier. This game has turned into quite the spicy slugfest. Empyrean with the huge lead to start things off. Not the hugest lead. With a few heroes dead, they're going to get an opportunity to go up high ground again. The Primal Split is a very nice option for taking these towers. Really hard to deal with. Yeah, they're going to get a full set of barracks. Look towards mid. They might get 2 sets. Tala not wanting to use the buyback on the Pangolier, but now Moracle's going to go and gets the silence, but they control up. Can they save the Earthshaker? No, he's going to go down. Cam CDC morphs into the Spirit Breaker once again, charges back through. Moracle still has the borrowed time. Isonic getting brought down. Now pops the borrowed time and turns towards the Morphling. Isonic buys back to get the Ice Blast out. He's going to connect onto KMCDC, and they will get shattered. Looking for more now as they get the slow on Virgil. Pops up with the shield crash onto the high ground, and they find their Rubik. So a nice defense from the side of R1. They give up a barracks, but they know how to take a fight. They only lose Ancient Apparition there. With the buyback, they now have all 5 up. No buyback available on the Earthshaker. They're buying out for a Heart of Trask. And R10, they've got quite the fast push as well with the Curse of Avernus. They're going to fully ignore this backdoor protection. Curse the tower, get that bonus attack speed, and bring it down. Now their creep wave connects. But it's going to be trouble for this mid lane. Have the Fortify available. It's going to prolong this a bit. Not looking to use any buybacks here. It's going to be a trade of barracks, it looks like. They blink in forward on Kuroko, gets deleted once again. Abaddon's absolutely menacing with this Blink Dagger. Ice Blast coming in, can they find it on Karma? It doesn't quite connect. The Brewmaster able to survive. Continues to get run down by the illusions. They buy back on the line, but Barracks gets brought down. They have the counter charge.
Radiant move one step closer to the enemy ancient.
I think that icon's bugged, because Virgil is definitely not charging right now, and Morphling's still dead.
Precious bounty.
So R10 once again bouncing back. They have a 6k gold lead now. When I looked at this graph before, it was 70% Empyrean Eagles. But now favoring the side of R10 off of that nice high ground fight. We're gonna get a smoke up. Still a minute until Roche spawns. I think that's what Empyrean are looking towards with this smoke. Yeah, Grunt just permanently has a charge icon now. For whatever reason. Kuroko scouting out ahead, has the Blink Dagger and the Force Staff. Ability tools are there. Empyrean gonna make their way over to the Roche pit. Ice Blast isn't going to see them, but they will throw it out, so they'll at least get the passive onto it. And most of these heroes, they get the Primal Split off this time, as Moracle focuses down the line, but that's no buyback for Kuroko, so this is a 5v4 for as long as they want. The Rolling Thunder rushing through the Brewlings. Moracle now going to be able to blink away with the borrowed time.
I'm not reading this.
No, but now stunned up and pushed back. Moracle gets brought down, blown up by KMCDC. Had to buy back on Azrael as well, and Tala. This was actually a massive fight, bringing down 4 heroes for Empyrean. So chaotic, happening in multiple places at once. They find Grant XD off the back of it as well. And not accounting for buybacks, that's all 5 heroes dead. Look at this graph. They have buybacks on everybody but AA. And the heroes that have already bought back, as far as dead heroes. Both Baden and Spearbreaker have their buybacks available. Choosing not to use it for now. I mean, this is going to be Mega Creep. Now they'll burn it out. And they'll look to chase. Grant XD immediately on the connection. They get the invis before the silence is there. Onto the Brewmaster. Still 36 seconds until Primal Split is back up. The silence out onto KMCDC. Jump back in from Senku, trying to get them off the back of this Morphling, but the Harpoon pulls him right back in. Chasing forward again with the Blink Dagger, now turning their attention over to Virgil. The Ice Blast isn't quite there. It would have finished off KMCDC, who's just going to wait for him and teleport away. Buyback from Virgil goes right over towards the Roche pit, but the rest of Empyrean going to back away. Virgil going to try to scout this out, expecting R10 to make their way over to the pit soon. And yeah, they are going to do so. Virgil is going to potentially look to make an Aegis steal here. Hanging out in the area. Senku as well. This could be troublesome. They throw down the fissure, they jump in, they don't know the health approach, they'll see it now. Now going to test it. They have the BKB. And jump back out of the pit. Moracle harpoons off to the other side, right on top of Senku, and now the Earthshaker's in trouble and is going to fall. Have the buyback, TP's up. The rest of Empyrean in the area, but they don't have Kuroko, and Virgil's gone now too. That was a buyback for the Rubik, so neither support available in this fight. It's 5v3. KMCDC can get blown back up. Moracle getting brought low, but has the borrowed time to survive for now. And it looks like everybody's going to survive for the moment. The Primal Split available. R10 going to look back towards Roche. Do they have the health on Moracle? They're going to find Tala off on the side. Fissured up, he's stuck behind the fissure in the Rolling Thunder. Gets up to this weird high ground that shouldn't exist, and that's going to let him TP away in the Rolling Thunder. Are you serious? What? I didn't know you could be there. Meanwhile, Moracle is still hitting Roche, backs away. They have another Ice Blast, and try to connect. It does clip onto the Morphling. Has to be careful, but Grunt XD gets brought down. No buyback, no spear break for 2 minutes. What is happening in this game? Moracle's back in the Roche pit. We get bashed up. Senku's still here. We're going to see the same thing again. The fissure comes down. Traps Moracle into the pit, but Harpoon's off to the other side. There's a gem on the ground. Senku's going to jump in. The Earthshaker's probably going to get the Aegis here. Able to steal it. There's an Aghanim Scepter on the ground. Moracle survives with borrowed time. Sonic can get brought doon. KMZDC falls to the Ice Blast, though. The damage from Azrael, double kill. And Senku and Karma, they're solo. The Aegis falls. Moracle just chopping away at these heroes. Senku going to respawn, tries to chase out. Going to find the stun on Azrael, who cannot TP away. And the Pugna's going to fall, so it's going to be 3 heroes dead on the side of R10 with no buybacks available. They finally finish off the Pugna. My goodness. All of a sudden, it's Empyrean back in the driver's seat. But can they make the push? Can they finish off the Mega Creeps? Only one set of barracks, and it's already exposed. Oh my goodness.
Dire's Ancient is under attack.
But the tier 4s are down on the Empyrean side. Missed when that happened. Ancient Apparition respawning means that this high ground push gets harder. They're gonna walk right up with their creep wave. Moracle getting controlled up. Now feared away, trying to back up. Still has borrowed time, plenty of health to work with. They're gonna start hitting these tier 4s. They have the stolen illusions from the morph into the pattern. They're just gonna go right for the high ground. But now they turn on to KMZDC with the Ice Blast instead! Senku just trying to finish off the Ancient. Can they control him up? The Primal Split as well. He comes back and they bring him down. Now Senku's controlled. Tries to BKB, wants to finish off the Aegis, but they have the control even through the BKB. Stunned up, brought down. No buyback for the Earthshaker or the Morphling. R10, they hold again. And now it's their turn to run it down mid. Only a buyback available on the Brewmaster for the Dire side. And again, this Ancient already exposed. No tier 4 towers on either side of the map. One set of barracks to speak of for each side. But they have 80 seconds. No Morphling. 95 seconds. No Earthshaker. I mean, surely this is game. They buy back on the Brewmaster. That's the only buyback they'll have. Is going to be back up for Lion as well for this fight. It's a 3v5 base defense. And Empyrean Eagles work some magic here. They're going to roll in Thunder and charge in. Moracle's immediately onto the Ancient. The Curse of Awareness, they have the Fortify. But it's so much damage so quickly from the Abaddon. They're backed into their Fountain. And it looks like it's going to be R10. GG is called. R10 take game 1. What an insane game. I cannot believe that that ends up going R10's way. What a way to start our day, start things off for TDL America's Pro Series 30. A 51-minute slugfest. That is one of the most insane graphs I have ever seen in a Dota game. Like, what am I looking at? What am I looking at? My goodness. That's wild. I don't know how to give an MVP for this game. I think it has to be Moracle. There was a Divine Rapier on the Abaddon at the end of there, too. This Abaddon performance was very, very clean. The Blink Dagger really making things happen. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to Moracle, but, like, just an insane team effort. The high ground defense from R10, like, that, you can't really give an MVP in a game like that. Really crazy performance. I'm looking forward to game 2, which we will have for you in just a moment, so stay with us.
5 seconds remain.
Alright, and we are back with our draft for game number 2.
Dyer's turn to bat.
TDL America's Pro Series 30 qualifying round between R10 and Empyrean Esports. If you missed game 1, go back and watch it later because that was a really fun game. R10 ends up taking it in the end. Their Ancient was at half HP, but they held and pushed it right back. And they took the game 1, looking to clinch their spot in the group stage. Game number 2, Empyrean looking to hang on, force a game 3. They want to make their way into the group stage. R10 had priority for game 2. They chose last pick, so Empyrean took the Radiant side. I find it interesting when teams take last pick because more often we see first pick prioritized right now. Often means that they have something a bit spicy that they want to snag right at the end.
10 seconds. Dyer's turn to ban.
What do we have for bans to get this draft started? Similar bans from R10. Lina, Doom, Vengeful Spirit.
Seconds.
Empyrean Esports, they're going to put big respect on the Grunt XD Spirit Breaker. And banning out the Timber Saw once again. Let's see, what... We don't have a Nature's Prophet ban yet. Or Tusk. Those were the bans that we had from Empyrean last game.
It is Radiant's ban.
Yeah, there's the Nature's Prophet. R10 gonna take it out. Neither side wanting to see that hero.
10 seconds remain.
I think Virgil might be
5 seconds.
a scary Tusk player. If that gets through. Ooh, we got the Phoenix banned out as well.
Pugna.
And Empyrean are gonna grab that Pugna. R10 had it last game. Azrael played it quite well.
Radiant's turn
Interesting hero to see getting contested here, and it's gonna be the Lion. That hero I'm less surprised to see as a hotly contested one. Lion has been feeling incredibly strong lately.
It is Radiant's ban.
R10 gonna bust that one out. So this is a swap from last game, right?
It is Dyer's
Yeah,
ban.
because we had Kuroko on the Lion and Azrael on the Pugna last game. I wonder if that's going to be a direct swap of those heroes. And, like, players playing them. Empyrean going to go after the mid laners in the middle phase, taking out the
10
Invoker and Ember
seconds.
Spirit now before R10 can get their hands on them.
5
Get one ban
seconds
here
remain.
from R10. What hero do they want to take out? The Tusk's still on the table. If that is a concern in this game.
Dyer's turn.
They're going to take out the Pango. With Tala playing that last game for R10. Sounds like they don't want to pick it, but they also don't want to give it up. Maybe concerned seeing the Invoker and Ember Spirit banned out. That is setting
10
up for
seconds
a
remain.
Pango mid pick.
5 seconds.
R10 gonna open up this next phase of draft picks
Radiant's turn to ban.
with... They will take the Tusk. That's gonna be a painful support duo to deal with. The Tusk Lion has insane gank potential. Wherever you are, you're going to have to be scared that these two heroes are about to jump on you. Once they both get their blink daggers, very troublesome.
5
Also great
seconds.
save potential from the Tusk. Curious if we might see a heavily mana-dependent hero picked up to go with the Lion. That's a function of the hero you get from the start of the game now. Mana draining into allies. You could see them trying to take advantage of that, but not necessarily the only way to get benefit out of having Lion. Two picks coming up for Empyrean should give us a good idea of what direction this draft is going to go for them. I mean, it's hard to say off of that wild and very close game 1, like, what you want to adjust in a game 2 draft. I think the biggest thing they would be looking for is a hero that's a bit better at breaking into the high ground. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to grab the Luna nice and early. Paired with the Pugna, R10 now have to be pretty concerned about the safety of their towers. These two heroes have the potential to shred buildings.
10 seconds.
And
remain.
yeah, if there was a Luna on the side of Empyrean last game, I think they would.
5
Because
seconds
in...
remain.
Like, obviously it changes other things about their game, but just thinking if in those high ground pushes they had a Luna, then they're going to go with a Marcy as likely their other support. Yeah, they were so close to being able to take down the Ancient that that extra building damage from the Glaives bouncing around would have done a ton. Centaur Warrunner was banned out last game. So that's going to be probably a lane pairing with the Lion in the off lane. And then you can stick a ranged support, or sorry, ranged carry behind the Tusk in your safe
5
lane.
seconds.
For the side of Empyrean, you're likely looking at something similar, a Marcy-Luna safe lane duo. I think is most likely, but we've been seeing more Luna mid lanes lately. I don't know how much I like it. I don't know that Empyrean will go that route, but I think it's an option for them. R10 deep in the think tank. They're gonna grab the puck. This was another hero that got banned out in the last phase. So even with that overall last pick, and this was what they did last game too, they saved it for their carry, not their mid laner.
Ten seconds remain.
And so I think this was a hero they banned last game,
5
knowing that
seconds
Empyrean
remain.
was going to be picking their mid laner
Radiant's turn to
last.
battle.
Empyrean's going to scoop up the Tiny. So I think that's going to be your mid matchup now, the Puck
Dire's
versus the
turn
Tiny.
to battle.
And then we still need an offlaner for Empyrean, unless that's where the Marcy's going. Ban out the Troll Warlord for R10. I expect we're going to see an Abaddon ban here too.
It is Dire's ban.
Yeah, Slardar going to be banned out by R10. I don't know, maybe you don't want an Abaddon paired
It
up
is
with a
Radiant's
Tusk.
ban.
Pudge is going to be the other ban. Prioritizing some of those durable and initiation capable heroes. Good heroes to follow up and work with a Tiny. I think the Slardar ban is pretty important because of how much physical damage
10
can come out from
seconds
Empyrean.
remain.
If you're corrosive hazed and you're getting hit by
seconds
Glaives, you're
remain.
getting hit by Marcy ult, you're getting trees thrown at you, you're gonna have a bad time. One last ban for Empyrean. Yeah, I'm curious if R10 would go back to the Abaddon this game. It worked really well for him last game.
Radiant's turn
Yeah,
to
Empyrean
pick.
They're going to man it out. They don't want to see the Abaddon again.
Dire's turn to pick.
And they're going to grab a
Beastmaster.
Beastmaster for their off. I feel like I've not seen much of this hero lately. But complements their draft decently. Big AoE damage. It's kind of the theme of their whole draft.
10
Solid
seconds.
control from the Tiny and the Marcy, and then you can just dump
5
damage into them.
seconds.
It's Luna and Pugna. That means off it's going to be a Terrorblade for
The
R10.
ultimate choice.
So they get to choose that for their lane matchup. Empyrean not showing the Marcy or Tiny lock-in yet. I wonder if they're actually... Yeah, they are going to put the Tiny mid. I wonder if it was a question if they wanted to consider the Marcy mid. Tiny definitely the more straightforward option. And they picked the Tiny after seeing the Puck, so I don't think they mind that lane matchup. I think they specifically want the Tiny Puck lane.
10 seconds remain.
Or yeah, it is Azrael and Kuroko swapping on the
5 seconds.
Pugna and Lion, so that's fun. It's particularly fun when it happens in the mid lane, but even for supports, it's always cool to see, like, okay, these players played these heroes, now they trade. Like, who is... is it an advantage of the hero matchup, or is it a player difference? It's cool to see. Eye Sonic on the Tusk, so yeah, that'll go in the safe lane with Oracle's Terrorblade. Virgil on the Marcy, in the safe lane with KMCDC's Luna. Yeah, which draft do I favor? This Terrorblade has a ways to go, and I think Empyrean has a lineup that can really get under this Terrorblade's farm. I think the mid matchup is gonna really have a huge factor in this game, because both Tiny and Puck have so much potential to set the pace of the game by what moves they make in the early game and how they play with their team and what fights they can set up early. So I think that's going to kind of be where the difference
Prepare for
lies.
battle.
So my assumption would be to favor Empyrean there because they got their choice of the mid matchup. So I expect this Tiny to do well
Wow.
and be able to create more space early. Alright, smokes on either side once again, and it looks like they are going to hang out. Oh no, we are going to get a wrap into the triangle for R10. Looking to make something happen early.
Sick 'em.
Nobody's sitting here waiting. It's actually fully into the far corner of their jungle for Empyrean. Once again, the smokes will not collide,
30 seconds and counting.
and it looks like each side will be able to safely set up on their respective runes.
Interesting.
With the
Look
fate of
at
the universe and the pride of
starting
10
items,
people
anything
on the
particularly
line.
fun?
This is Dota.
Nothing crazy. Lots of branches. Extra armor for the Centaur. Let's get things started. Senku came out pretty solidly ahead with that Earthshaker last game. Just an insane amount of denies. Similar position with the tree here is actually trading blows early. Hollow jumping forward with the illusory orb, but then going to back away. What else do we got for action? Kill potential for sure in the spot lane on either side. Virgil can find the big disposes. They can certainly set up plenty of damage for the Luna. Lots of stuns back the other way. As top with the tag team. Oh, this is gross. Yeah, it's first blood.
Thanks and have fun.
Tag team metamorphosis is possibly like the most possible damage you can get out of two heroes at level 1. Like,
This blade rings true while sharp tongues lie.
that is gross. With mid laners feeling a little low on health. They're gonna throw out a double edge into the Earth Spike, KMCDC. Little low, Virgil gets the jump over into the dispose, and it's gonna be a trade that is going to favor the side of R10, but both sides will bring down a hero. Isonic getting a little low up top. Harass coming out from Kuroko. Nether Blast after Nether Blast. Now has the Decrepify to work with, which is going to be a big help when they go for this tag team plays the next time Metamorphosis is available. Makes it harder to get away with what they did for First Blood. Nice counter pull from R10, keeping the creep wave in a reasonable spot and not getting denied. Sonic once again taking harass from Kuroko, but does manage to get the healing lotus. That's a decent pickup. Might just have to use it sooner than they wish, though. Looks like they'll be okay.
Behold! I'm out!
Some action in a weird spot down bot. Both supports low. Jump forward, but into the stun from Grunt XD. And now the potential to turn. They hex up the Luna. Double edge after double edge coming down. KMCDC trying to escape. Grunt XD not going to quite connect with one more double edge. So we'll be able to survive.
Dire's bottom tower
They have a meta available if they want to use it. Mid lane both sides getting low. Tala has the illusory orb ready. Senku's going to get the bottle refill off of Virgil's death. Now I'm going to contest the rune. Gets the silence onto Virgil, and Tala able to sidestep the avalanche. Now the dispose back. Nice dodge of the jump, but now they toss Virgil forward, trying to run down this puck. Blood Grenade is going to connect. And actually, a nice stun from Azrael means that puck is going to survive. Meanwhile, up top, they see that the Pugna has left, and that means that they can once again tag team Metamorphosis, the Beastmaster. Down bot, they're going to find a kill on KMCDC right at the front of their tower. That's a solo kill for them. Brent XD picks it up. Hard hero for Luna to deal with in lane. Is the danger of getting that Luna early, but R10 able to get a pretty good lane matchup for it. Virgil making their way back down towards the bot lane. Gonna jump forward for the stun onto Brent XD into the dispose, but Azrael's back. They're just gonna turn stun up on the Luna. KMCDC hexed up as well, and one more double edge is gonna do it. Killing spree for Brent XD as they find another kill on KMCDC. Throwing the tip out to Virgil. And yeah, you did not want to go on the Centaur there. Morkel taking a good amount of damage. Level 5, so no Sunder available, of course. I'm going to take some tower hits, though, and the tag team chipping in. iSonic getting a little low back the other way. Another blood grenade, but a very nice snowball. Be able to dodge for now. It is going to get the stun there. Trying to finish off Kuroko, but not going to quite be there. And iSonic will finally go down. We're in the mid lane. Azrael making a rotation over. He's getting into some trouble. Hex is up. Tiny, though. One last hit will do it on Azrael. And just trying to survive the Dream Coil, but I think Tala is going to be able to finish this off. Gets the silence in. Nice haste from Grent XD. Help Tala chase. Actually not going to be enough, though. The Illusory Orb doesn't connect, and Senku survives. iSonic going to walk right up to Karma. Throws down the tag team. Metamorphosis is about to be off cooldown. They're not even going to need to use it. Killing spree for Moracle as R10 up 7-3 in this game, too. Virgil trying to relieve some of the pressure. They get a nice flip back, and actually with Senku's rotation, able to bring down the Terrorblade. So that's a very important kill for the side of Empyrean. And try to run down the Tusk as well. And Ice Shards will thwart any further plans they have for that. First set of Wisdom Runes going to be up. Supports doing their jobs and picking those up right away for their teams. CDC full jungle mode, but you really don't mind that as a Luna. Got plenty of abilities that will let you chunk through jungle camps quite quickly. And you're going to step forward with the Avalanche onto Tala. A toss, not enough to bring them down, but we'll bring them low. Get out some of those. Yeah, nothing left on the bottle. Just give them some wand charges. Up top, they've got another Metamorphosis. They didn't need it to kill Karma. Doesn't have the Sunder up, trying to bring Karma down once again, but Moracle's actually going to be the one that falls through the Metamorphosis. iSonic forced to back away.
Killing spree.
And in the mid lane, Senku picks up a solo kill on Tala. Avalanche toss. After the last Avalanche toss, stole away the Illusion Rune into the bottle, and no way for the puck to live. That tree toss. I think that was hoping to kill the courier with that.
Good.
And bot. Virgil in a little bit of trouble as Tala coming bot off of the respawn.
A dominating performance.
And yeah, Grent XD. That's down Virgil. Gonna look for more, but CDC already teleporting away. Nice escape there by the Luna as they bring 4 heroes down to try to bring down CDC. Very even on the last hits between the Terrorblade and Luna. But the difference in kills means that Terrorblade is up 3-2-0 versus 0-3-1 in that department.
No, take that.
A prize.
Let's see. Mana Boots being worked on by iSonic. Done on Kuroko.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm gonna Glimmer Cape into an Aether Lens. Manta Style gonna be the first
Radiant's
item
bottom tower
for
is in
Moracle.
danger. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Tala almost has the Witchblade done on the puck. Recipe away from
Radiant's
it.
bottom tower is in danger. Radiant scan, eager to know.
But they got this deep ward here. They know CDC is going to be hanging out down here at the well. Senku Invis is going to find Azrael. Virgil in the area as well. Toss under the tower directly into Grent XD. That's going to finish off the line and then dispose back. The repositioning on this team kind of insane. Has the Stampede away and has the Blink Dagger ready, but now they're going to run into Tala, who jumps in. Dream Coil's going to connect onto 2, but the toss-up and the Avalanche means Tala's going to go down.
This is Gabe Newell. Thanks for playing.
Virgil gets punched up, but lives for now. Now Karma connects and Isonic falls as well, so very nice series from Empyrean. They bring down 3 heroes and eventually look to turn this into a tower. Beastmaster Swarm, the Nether Blasts, and eventually the Luna look for these Dire buildings to start falling anytime Empyrean pick up a fight.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is good. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant should look to their middle tower.
Mega kill.
Amazing blink initiation from Senku, jumps in with the Avalanche, sets up on to 2, bring down Tala and Isonic, and they find an Ancient stack. That is massive. If they can, I think they're just going to take it while they can, but I'm sure, yeah, with the Beastmaster axes, Virgil actually going to pick up a lot of these with the Unleash. I'm curious if they wanted to try to save that for KMCDC, but don't think they wanted to risk sitting in the area for that long. Senku blinks in once again, finds the Avalanche in the toss.
Ownage.
Lion, I believe, is going to die like that quite a few times in this game. It's just what a mid-tiny does. What he's done for many years. The blink, Avalanche, toss, you're dead.
Dire's middle tower is no more. There is little hope for Dire's middle tower.
R10 maybe want to look to relieve some of the pressure in the mid lane. They're going to bring both their supports over here with Tala. Looks like Empyrean will respect that and back away. Everybody's back up on the side of R10.
Got it.
Radiant are scanning.
5k gold lead. Things off to another good start for Empyrean. Looks like R10 maybe looking to play the whole game once again, but had the Abaddon last game. In this game, it's the Terrorblade.
The Dire scan on the hunt for Radiant forces.
They certainly are not going to mind going late. The scan comes out behind KMCDC over by that room. Meanwhile, on the other side, though, Empyrean looking to make a play. They bring down Brent. Maybe going to chase for more on Isonic. Nice jump forward from Virgil. And the Dispose will set up the kill for Karma and Senku once again. I don't have to check the death summary to know how that lion died. Yeah, this is going to be another tower. This time it's a tier 2. It's exactly what Empyrean want to do with this draft. Get a few pickoffs, destroy some buildings. Game CDC with the Dragonlance Yasha looking to position up a little more aggressively, start taking some farm on the Dire side of the map and be available for some of these fights. Push continues. The drums are done on Karma. Got that nice and early on the Beastmaster.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Playing the bongos, getting that AoE damage. Empyrean maybe looking for something behind the tower. It looks like able to safely disengage R10. Empyrean really keeping the pressure up, playing mostly on the dire side of the map now.
A lucky find.
Empyrean gonna walk over towards that rune. Virgil will still secure it.
Blessings
Things
upon a
calm
loyal
down a
warrior.
bit for the moment.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's
And yeah,
middle tower
Empyrean
is
Eagle is able to just chunk down this tower.
Radiant's top tower is in danger.
Oh no. Azrael seen.
Scanning for
They
enemies.
smoke up. Azrael run. Oh no, Azrael. Suppose there, they get the Hex. But there's an Avalanche, there's Axes, there's 4 heroes. The line goes down. Frentex can escape off to the other side of the map. What's this Terrorblade's farm doing? Has the Mantis style working on Dragonlance. Right in step with the cores on the Radiant side. It's the... oh my goodness. The Pugna has more farm than the Puck. It's trying to get to that Blink Dagger on Tala, but very difficult to find farm at this point in the game already.
Tower is under attack. Dire should look to their top tower.
Gonna be another tier 2, and it looks like at 18 minutes, all of the outer towers
Is under
for
attack.
R10 will be taken.
Dire's top tower is no more. Radiant's bottom tower is under
Empyrean
attack.
continuing to build their lead. They're gonna look towards the Roche pit.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom
This
tower
should
is under
be a
attack.
pretty easy pickup. Probably going to trade a tier 1 tower for it. I don't think they mind that at all. It's actually the first building that R10 is going to take in this game. Period. Get a nice quick Roche. So much bonus damage on this Luna.
Radiant's
Lunar
bottom
Blessing.
tower is under attack.
20 attack speed from
Scanning
Inner
for
Beast.
enemies.
Gonna be 40 eventually.
Radiant should look to their middle
And
tower.
sidekick. Oracle has to be careful where they're farming. Senku blinks up and finds them. It's the Avalanche. Will demand to survive for now. Looking for the toss back, but Senku's not going to find it. They'll make their way over to the area. Hala as well. Time for the high ground hold once again, but this time Empyrean have the Pugna and they have a Luna. Aegis available, heals from Kuroko. This is a tier 3 tower before 20 minutes. Fortify will hold them at bay for now. But what can R10 do to stop them? How do you kill this Luna? Once, let alone twice. To the threat of their team behind us, Senku jumps in, finds the Avalanche on Moracle. Sunder will go off, so that'll keep Moracle alive, but now with Barracks exposed, nice stomp into the Dream Coil! R10, can they hold like they did last game? Grent is going to go down. They find the kills. R10 falling, Azrael getting brought low as well. It was a beautiful setup, but they don't have the damage, and all 5 heroes go down. GG is called at the 20-minute mark. Empyrean. They're saying, we're going to game 3. And we're doing it quickly. My goodness. That was faster than most turbo games I've ever played. Yeah, Empyrean, they did exactly what their draft was set out to do. Win a few fights, take your buildings, win another fight, take another building, and suddenly it's 20 minutes and they've taken a set of barracks, have won another team fight because they have a big lead at this point, and yeah, that'll do it. MVP's got to go to Senku's Tiny, 8-0-5. Great performance from Kuroko on the Pugna as well, 6-0-10. But the Tiny was just making it was like I said, the mid matchup. They got that favored pick, won the mid lane, and just created so much pressure that R10 could not hold up to it. All right, that's going to do it for game 2. We will be back soon for the deciding match to see which team goes on to the group stage in game number 3. Stay with us. Alright, and we're back for game number 3 to decide which team is going to move on to
Radiant's turn
group
to
stage
ban.
of TDL America's Pro Series 30.
Ten seconds remain. 5 seconds. It is Radiant's ban.
This should be a good one. We had a
Dire's turn to ban.
crazy 50-minute back and forth game 1, and then Empyrean busted out the heavy push
10
strats
seconds.
and cleaned up game 2
5 seconds
in
remain.
20 minutes flat.
Radiant's turn to ban.
So I'm excited for this game 3. We're going to get the tiny bend out that
10
Senku
seconds remain.
picked up my MVP vote with
5 seconds
in that last
remain.
game.
It is Radiant's ban.
Pugna taken away as well. We saw it picked by R10, picked by Empyrean, win both
10
games.
seconds remain. It is
So it's going to get banned out now. And then Nature's Prophet will remain a ban alongside the Timber Saw and Doom that have been banned out throughout this series.
10 seconds.
Spirit Breaker taken away as well after R10 played it in
5
game 1.
seconds. Dire's turn. Radiant's
And the
turn.
Centaur going to be taken away. That was also menacing for the laning stage for the Luna. Obviously it worked out anyway for Empyrean. It's going to be the Vengeful Spirit. We've been seeing this hero get banned in the series so far, at least in one game, if not both.
10 seconds remain.
Venge has been in a really solid spot. The
5
barrier that you get on
seconds.
swap is quite nice. Good
Dire's
save
turn
hero
to
and
ban.
initiating stun hero. The response is going to be the Tusk. And we had... It was Isonic's Tusk last game as well, so... Still have faith. I thought Isonic played a good game on it.
10 seconds.
It was just a little bit too overwhelming of a snowball
5 seconds
from the
remain.
side of Empyrean.
It is Dire's ban.
Ember Spirit going to get taken away in the middle phase of the draft.
Radiant's turn to ban.
Yeah, I think this was a repeat for the draft setup of game 1. Empyrean took the coin flip, took first pick, R10 took the Radiant side. Radiant has won both of our games so far. But Empyrean has
5
had first pick for
seconds.
all 3 games, so it's been back and forth on whether first pick or last pick. Broker banned out as well. I believe that's the same pair of middle phase bans that Empyrean did last game.
Radiant must
Setting up their mid
choose.
laner for success. The Brewmaster going to get taken out by R10 was troublesome for them in game number 1. So let's see where this goes for R10 now.
10 seconds remain. 5 seconds remain.
With the Pugna banned out, you still have the Luna to worry about. And the Beastmaster. Like, those were also key parts of how Empyrean was able to push so fast. I don't know that Empyrean would necessarily go that route again, but with a Vengeful Spirit, you certainly don't mind pairing that with a Luna, having, you know, doubling up on the damage auras. They're gonna go for a Treant Protector. It's a little interesting. We might actually see a swapping of the Tusk over to the 4 position in that case.
10 seconds.
Double melee
remain.
supports is interesting. Doesn't necessarily mean that they are
5
planning
seconds.
to have a
Dire must choose.
pair of ranged side laners. Ooh, Empyrean are going to steal the Abaddon. Moracle Abaddon was our Game 1 MVP. Very impressive carry performance there. Abaddon's such a menace right now.
Luna.
And they're going to pick up the Luna again. Interesting. So this is a support Abaddon, most likely. I think Abaddon Luna is going to be your lane duo. And then Venge will be over in the side lane. There's also potential that the Abaddon is an off lane. And the hero's so flexible, too. That's the other scary thing about this guy.
5 seconds remain.
Go either core or support and can be played. Don't really see him mid. I'm sure you could get away with it. It is going to be Death Prophet, so that's likely your ranged offlaner that will pair with either the Tusk or the Tree. More likely the Tusk. Tree is almost always a position 5, but just because we saw the Tusk on iSonic last game is the reason that I
5 seconds.
Really put any amount of doubt on the Treant Protector being in the 5 position. We'll see if Death Prophet is... I mean, they had a good answer with the Centaur for the Luna in lane, at least. We'll see how the Death Prophet fares into this Luna Abaddon lane. But that
interrupted.
Not the easiest lane to play into for any hero. Death Prophet could also go mid.
Dire's turn to pick.
Earth.
They're gonna go back to the Earthshaker on R10. Or actually, no, this was... They're gonna steal the Earthshaker, because it was Senku that played it in Game 1. I'm guessing that will go into the mid lane. I don't think you'd want to play it
10 seconds
in a
remain.
side lane. Like, you're not going to play it off lane with either a Tusk or Treant support. That would be absolutely miserable lane to the Abaddon and Luna. And I think the support roles are spoken for.
Wow.
You could put the Tusk in the off lane, maybe, if you really wanted to play the Earthshaker support. But pretty safe bet, the Earthshakers. See what Empyrean want to close out this phase of the draft with. I think R10 have always picked their heroes in the same order. Sort of maybe flipping their support and offlane picks. But Empyrean can grab their mid lane here. That's what they did last game, because they already see that the mid matchup is most likely the Earthshaker. And then that lets you get your favored matchup before R10 gets the chance to ban 2 of the heroes that you'd wanted as an option. That was what happened in Game 1, though Senku still kind of got what they wanted with the Earthshaker and won the lane against the Pango. I'd be curious to see how the mid matchup could differ if R10 was using their last pick for it instead of for carry. Because Senku, I would say, has won lane in both games. But Empyrean have gotten to pick their mid matchup both times. It's going to be the Puck on Senku now to try to show Tala how it's done after beating the Puck with the Tiny.
It is Radiance.
I think this was a hero R10 banned after picking the Pango in Game 1. So I think it's going to be a tough matchup. But Earthshaker lanes so well still.
10 seconds.
Slark banned out by Empyrean,
5
knowing that R10
seconds.
is looking for a carry once again. I like a Slark ban. I think R10 needs something that comes online sooner. I think the
It is
Terrorblade
Radiance ban.
was kind of all their eggs in a basket that they never could get to in game 2. Take out the Beastmaster, that's good. I still think it's possible that this Abaddon goes off lane.
10 seconds remain.
And then the push is
5
scary again
seconds
from
remain.
Empyrean. If Senku gets off to a good start and can create space, I think Empyrean can win game 3 the same way they did game 2. And I mean, you could also just be a support of that Abaddon that puts more points into Curse.
It is Dire's ban.
Primal Beast going to be the other ban from R10. A little bit of an interesting one. Not a push hero, but definitely a big initiation hero. Good follow-up for the puck.
10 seconds remain.
Oh, they
Dire's
have
turn
the...
to pick.
Undying is the other ban from Empyrean. That's a weird ban. Who would be the carry if R10 picked Undying?
10 seconds.
Tusk? I don't know.
5 seconds.
I don't know what Empyrean's cooking with that Undying ban. Maybe it really counters whatever they're gonna pick here. But I don't know what they would pick that would be hard countered by an Undying. They have good answers for Tombstone too, between the Abaddon and Luna. Yeah, I don't know.
Radiant's turn to pick.
Weird ban. It'll be Elder Titan. Gonna round things off. So I think this is an offlane Abaddon. And the Elder Titan is going to go into the 5 role to lane with the Luna. That's a kind of scary. They have so much damage amp for physical damage
10
between
seconds remain.
Luna and Venge passives. The armor
5
reduction from Elder
seconds
Titan and the
remain.
curse from Abaddon. Like, these heroes are gonna die. Yeah, I'm curious how R10 is going to round this out. I wouldn't mind... can you pick a Spectre here? Oh, they're going to go Medusa. So we're back to the late game. But this is a potentially stronger laner. Makes sense. You probably want a ranged core to stick behind the Tusk or Treant Protector, however they choose to lane those. But can they survive? Like, I feel like Empyrean can do something similar to what they did in game 2. Yeah, it's going to be Karma on the Abaddon in the offlane. Yeah, Isonic is going to pick up the Treant Protector, so Azrael will be on the Tusk this time. Get to see a different Tusk player for them. A lot of heroes that we had in other games, but on different players. Got the Earthshaker that we saw Senku play now on Tala. Got the Tusk moved from Isonic to Azrael, and we've got the Abaddon from Moracle to Karma. Fun. Oh, and the Puck from Tala to Senku. Yeah, I like... We didn't get an Earthshaker Puck matchup earlier, but we had the opposite players playing the heroes that they're playing now. It was just in two different... It was in... The Earthshaker was in game 1, the Puck was in game 2, and then they swapped them and
Has
have them both
disconnected
in
from the
game
fight.
3. It's gonna be fun. I'm enjoying watching these teams play quite a bit. I think based on what we've seen in the last 2 games, I gotta favor the side of Empyrean. Because I think they can put together something similar to what they did in game number 2. I think, once again, mid matchup is going to be very important. And once again, Empyrean got to pick their mid after seeing the R10 mid. So, Senku likes the puck matchup into Earthshaker. We get everybody connected to get things started for game 3. Most of these guys don't have their starting item because of this. Earthshaker got plenty of branches, Tango in the backpack to slot in for the ward once it's placed. Sonic ready to go with the smoke. Double circlet, double iron branch, plenty of stats ready to go on this Abaddon. Big damage for the Universal Hero. Let's see.
The greatest tragedy of our eon. What is this? A game of some sort?
Yeah, thank you, Senku. That is, that's me trying to think of things to talk about when when we get these start of game pauses. Let's check in on the net worth difference. Pretty even so far. 700 gold across the board. And how are we doing on last hits? No last hits yet. Interesting strategy from these teams. As they've chosen not to hit a creep yet. Possibly influenced by the fact that there are no creeps on the map yet. Oh, thank you, Nicolangelo, for the follow. I'm glad somebody is finding my rambling entertaining while we wait for everybody to get reconnected. I'm sure we're gonna get into this game very soon. How about the graph? Pretty even. Favoring R10 out of the draft. I don't know. That might just be the Radiant favor to start things off.
Greetings!
I don't know if that's influenced by the draft or it's just because Radiant is favored over Dire by 2%. Or 4%, I guess. Everyone. But it.
Interesting.
Alright, I have an update for us. R10 apparently
You might wish
needs
to retract your last move.
to bring in a stand-in. Sounds like Moracle, whatever the reason for the DC is not able to play, so they're gonna have to grab last second stand-in. So we're gonna have to remake the lobby, so hang tight. And we'll be right back with you once we're ready to start the game again. Alright, thanks for bearing with us. We are back. The draft has been remade. We have Mini standing in for Moracle, since Moracle had the power outage right at the start of the last game, or at the start of this game, after we finished the draft. So we are back in it, ready for Game 3. And once again, I'm looking forward to this. Going to be interesting to see how they're able to adapt playing with a stand-in suddenly. But it should be still a fun game. R10 took game 1 in
Just 30
a
seconds.
crazy back-and-forth game. And then Empyrean picked up game 2 in just 20 minutes off of a crazy push, and we are actually going to get maybe a little bit of a conflict around the runes here. Empyrean stepping up. Oh, it's going to be a big spirit for the Elder Titan. They're going to set up on Azrael. Controlled up will sit in the snowball for now, gets the stun out onto 3, but Azrael is going to go down.
Hello.
Karma will pick up the last hit.
You've just achieved first blood.
That'll be your
Thanks
first
and
blood.
have fun.
Where do the runes end up going? Grant XD does a good job of scooping up the runes on the other side to make sure that the runes at least stay even for R10. Alright, luckily we didn't have to worry about resetting a game state or anything, because we didn't get anywhere into the last game. The disconnect happened right once we got into the match. It might have happened during the draft, and it just didn't show up until you're actually in-game for them to pause. But yeah, so I think especially now with the stand-in, I am favoring Empyrean Eagles. But we've seen a lot of grit out of this R10 lineup, so I know that there's tons of potential for them to close out this game 3 and punch their ticket to the group stage. Stun out on to Mini, who's a little low on mana, but we'll get some back from that snake. Remember to watch the blue bar up at the top to know if the Medusa is about to die. MCDC had a great performance on Luna. The laning stage didn't go amazingly for them, but were able to pretty quickly turn things around, picked up plenty of farm in the jungle while their team made space, and then just shoved in the lanes to victory. Dealing with a Death Prophet this time rather than the Centaur Warrunner, they banned out the Centaur to get the better lane matchup for the Luna. It'll go a little easier for them.
Nothing for you.
Made it very even to start things out, 7-4 to 6-4. Senku, I would say, won both of the lanes in the first 2 games. Partially because of how R10 drafts, they've allowed Senku to get their favored matchup. I'm curious how this one's going to go for them on the puck. Down bot, Isonic getting stunned up into the Blood Grenade, and that's going to be the Curse of Avernus proccing, trying to escape through the Nature's Grasp, but not able to get away. There'll be another kill for Empyrean Eagles. Lots of trading, not a super aggressive start to the game. Players are probably in a little bit of a weird mindset from the remake of the lobby. I'm not surprised to see things going not super aggressively. Senku sitting on not a ton of health, but still has bottle charges. Yeah, immediate right back up. Close to full. Down bot. Isonic once again getting chunked away. Kuroko getting low, though. Has to escape that Nature's Grasp and the Leaf Seed. It's gonna be Kuroko going down. Still picked up by Mini to get R10 on the board. Good way to start things off for the stand-in. Well, out onto Virgil. Raz followed up with the Siphon, but able to get away. Hope of that Windlace, giving them that extra move speed on the Elder Titan. From Kuroko, but now maybe in a little bit of trouble. Again, the 1-2 combo of the Nature's Grasp and Leech Seed. Push it off. Up top, getting aggressive under the tower. Virgil trying to run down Grunt XD. MCDC taking the tower shots, but is going to secure the kill with Virgil. Azrael trying to bring down KMCDC, but not quite able to. They get away with getting under the tower and getting the kill. Karma getting super low from these mana snakes. A Salve and a Tango going, though. Hello, building a decent lead in the mid lane now, 27-9 to 21-5.
Not this time.
What sort of prize is this?
Last hitting of the Earthshaker. It actually does have a point in Fissure. We saw Senku hold off on getting Fissure until much later. When they played the Earthshaker in Game 1. So interesting seeing Talo pick that up. Nice Echo Slam to try to set up. Follows it up very well, and they have the Snowball. Chain it with the Fissure. tag team as well, and they're going to get the kill on Senku. Virgil in the area as well. Actually did get the Dream Coil down on both of them, so Azrael's going to fall, but now Kuroko shows up just to die. Isonic picks up that kill. And Isonic maybe looking to run down Virgil as well, but it looks like under the safety of their tier 2 tower, Isonic will be unable to pick up that kill, just offers them the high five instead.
There is little hope for Dire's middle tower.
Medusa in a bad in, farming pretty chill, pretty evenly. Medusa out ahead a decent amount.
The Dire scan.
Both solo down here now that the supports have left to do some roaming and pick up runes. Virgil's still hanging out around mid as down bot. Isonic shows up and they pick up the kill on to the Baden. Clicked down by the Medusa.
Bounty.
Nature's Grasp damage in there as well. Virgil spotting out the ward. Azrael gonna try to punish for this. Elder Titan looking to walk away, but now they connect with the tag team. Dream Coil gonna try to hold the Tusk back. Fissure connects, and now the Snowball is gonna be there to close the gap. Senku does jaunt to that orb. KMCDC making their way over as well. Azrael is gonna fall, but now Talo's right here with the stuns. Aftershock connects. They bring down KMCDC. Meanwhile, over on the other side of the map, with Isonic leaving, they're able to find the kill on Mini. Getting that return kill, and already off to brawly start. After the lanes were pretty quiet, now only 8 minutes in, a lot of heroes leaving their lanes. And fights going either way. Virgil again scouting things out around mid lane, and he gets stunned up, fully blocked off by the Fissure. Tala actually can't get up to them either, but both of the supports are going to be able to finish off Virgil. Isonic throws out the tip. Tala gonna chase fully under the tower with the haste. Stuns them out, doesn't let them jaunt away to the Illusory Orb, drops the Echo Slam, Snowball connecting as well. It's not gonna quite make it. So Senku will live. Kuroko now looking to help out, but just gonna get stunned up. Hits the Fissure on both again. Tala is playing the hell out of this Earthshaker.
Dire should look to their top tower.
Down bot, maybe looking to apply some pressure to Mini. They actually spot KMCDC coming through the gate, and Isonic is going to chase this. Doesn't have Overgrowth. But with Leech Seed, also Medusa popping the Borrowed Time, Isonic just walking at this Luna. There's going to be another Lucent Beam, and it looks like that will be Isonic's cue to stop chasing. Karma showing up behind them as well. Nobody ends up going down, but definitely not the spot that KMCDC wanted to be in, looking for somewhere to farm. Does have the Morbid Mask, so makes their way over to the triangle and can heal up on some creeps there. Virgil now playing aggressively again, gets the Echo Stomp off of the Spirit onto Mini. Senko in the area too. Azrael making their way over, as this is now the party lane. Tala is here, doesn't have an Echo Slam available. Sons of Fissure gets silenced up to start things off, and now into the Dream Coil, 3-man Fissure. Into the Enchant Totem, now the Snowball to chase forward once again. They're going to finish off Karma, who doesn't have Borrowed Time after it was popped earlier by Mini. Tala's still sitting low, but going to be okay. They try to block off the Elder Titan with the shards. Senku now going to jump back in and going to get brought down. Tala not falling. Kuroko trying. Oh, another beautiful Fissure to block them off. No chance to escape for Kuroko. Double kill for Azrael.
Double kill.
R10. Grent just found the Luna solo and just ran them down. Yeah. Wow. This is both game 1 and 2. Empyrean Eagles were off to a strong start in the early game. Had the lead to start both games. This is the first time we've seen R10 start with it. Interesting. That was different than where it started the first time we made this lobby. I don't know what that means.
Radiant should
We're
look
gonna-
to their bottom tower.
Finding more safe places to farm after spawning. Support squaring off in the mid lane. Gonna throw out the wall response. Tala's gonna get in on the action.
Onage.
Back to Earth.
And the enchant totem brings down Kuroko.
Onage.
Oh no, the Luna gets found again. This time with the help of the overgrowth. Trent picks up another kill on the Luna. Pan CDC not off to the start they were in game 2. With the start that Tala's had, like this is the difference.
Radiant's bottom tower
Is which mid laner is applying the pressure. In this game, it has been all Tala. They're gonna look for more,
Dire's
maybe
middle
mid.
tower is under attack.
Scouting out Virgil. They're chunking down this tower
Their
already.
structures against attack.
They've got an Exorcism available. It's gonna be a Dream Coil on to the Earthshaker. Immediately breaks it, that sets up the Echo Stomp. Echo Slam's gonna come down onto just Karma. Talo's in trouble here, caught up on the high ground. Exorcism is used by Grant XD. They're gonna try to push down this tower even without their Earthshaker. And they will get it off of the back of that Exorcism. They want to continue to look to fight with this. They've got a decent amount of time left on this. Maybe a little bit of confusion as Isonic steps up a little too far, but no borrowed time available on Karma means that Spirit Side needs to make quick work of them. Earth Splitter comes out, but only finds Azrael, who's able to survive. Virgil's going to go down to the Mana Snake. Now they're going to chase forward, try to find Kuroko as well.
Dominating performance.
And they
Double
will,
kill.
so it ends up being 2 heroes for 3 at the end of the day. Mid for offlane and 1 support for 2. In addition to that tier 1 tower in the mid lane being taken for R10. Blink Dagger is ready to go on the Earthshaker. Blake has had that for a little bit, sitting on a bit of gold, deciding they're going to go for the Agnims next. We're going to get a smoke up on the Elder Titan and Puck. There's a few heroes down here. There is a low health Azrael. There's also a full mana Mini. Get the Dream Coil onto 2. Doesn't have the Stone Gaze available, so Azrael's going to go down. No Echo Slam ready to go either. Fissure just to give them some space, but they get the silence from Senku onto the Earthshaker, but it looks like Tala is going to be able to escape. Bot lane. That Curse of Avernus going to quick work on the tower. Karma and Kuroko pick that one up. First tower down on the Radiant side.
Bounty.
Azrael looking at that Blink Dagger right away, has the gold for it, so it's going to be on its way out. Just the Brown Boots and Soul Ring working with it. Heavy prioritization on the Blink Dagger, and now both the Earthshaker and Tusk have one. What is on the tree? Aghanim Shard already, so that's going to give them set up. Now there's going to be an Echo Slam out from the Blink Dagger. Virgil doesn't stand a chance
Is under attack.
when the ultimate of the R10 mid laner is committed.
Radiant should look to their middle tower.
I'm gonna move up into this jungle potentially where Minnie's farming on the Dire side. Also been pressure off of the Luna for a bit now, so already at Mask of Madness, Yasha. Looking at that Manta style. Get the illusions going. Diffusal ready to go on a bat-in. Doing up the Manta style as well.
For Dire's middle tower.
Means with two Mantas that they're going to be looking to push with, big potential for some Echo Slams. But they're going to find Tala off on the side. Three heroes, the supports are here. Tala trying to get away, but not going to be able to. Roku gets a swap onto Karma to survive, but the Nature's Grasp is still bringing them low. Snowball actually able to keep Azrael alive long enough to finish off the kill on Kuroko. Will finally get brought down. Now, KMCDC and Virgil, they're going to try to run down Isonic. They have the Earth Splitter on the tree. They've got the vision from the dust. They pop the Eclipse, but it's not connecting. It looks like they run out of vision on Isonic and going to be able to just TP away. Nice escape from the Treant. But overall, a good fight for Empyrean. This Medusa is farming. Manta and already the Eagle Song for a Butterfly. 2k net worth above the next closest on their team, which is Grent. 3k above the closest on the enemy team, which is almost everybody. They're at very even farm on the side of Empyrean.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Look to run under the tower with 4 heroes, trying to set up onto Karma. Still has the borrowed time for now. Kuroko's going to be the first one to fall. As Tala gets in on the mix. Sends them up and brings them down, and that's going to be converted into another tower for R10.
Dire's bottom tower is no more.
Virgil scouting out the Astral Spirit. MCDC almost for that Manta. Accelerate that farm even more.
Dire's bottom tower is in danger. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Alright, what do we have cooking? He was almost ready on Death Prophet. Shiva's Guard is so insane. Surprised we haven't seen heroes building Shiva's Guard yet this series. I'm gonna smoke from Empyrean out. Oh, this could be trouble for Mini. Farming up in the triangle. All 4 heroes, they're gonna set up. Get the stun into the sleep. Azrael trying to get in to help out, but now is just going to fall as well as they get swapped in. Snowball blink away. Azrael actually going to live here. Very clean play from the Tusk. Look for the Dream Coil on Isonic, but it doesn't connect. Now the blink over towards the rune. Azrael able to pick up the haste rune. The fissure will give them the space. Maybe considering chasing with the illusory orb, but Senku decide not to. Still cooking with a double damage rune, but that's about to run out. Sorry, the damage amp rune. No longer double, but also affects spell damage. Both teams kind of playing around as Tala just waits and finds Senku with the Echo Slam as they come down the high ground.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Now gonna try to defend the Wisdom Rune, but the Yules is gonna be there, so Grent able to steal it, and the Fissure making things awkward for Empyrean Eagles to try to get up this high ground. They get the stun, they pop the Exorcism, so maybe looking to fight here, but now backing away. See if they turn this into a tower push. They're gonna want to get use out of the Exorcism. They're gonna get right up on this tower, Mini in the area as well to help chip away at it. Medusa, who has the Butterfly ready to go. Looks like they're gonna smoke and try to wrap around through the triangle. The tower's going to fall. They might be able to catch a good fight off of the back of this for Empyrean Eagles. They're looking towards Azrael. Smoke breaks, but they're still up the high ground. Jump in from Azrael, set things up into the fissure. Don't have Neko Sled yet, but Senku's already dead. Caught up in the stuns by Tala. Karma gonna have to use the borrowed time. Azrael getting brought down. Big damage coming out from up the high ground. KMCDC here too, but now gonna have to be swapped to be saved. But Grunt XD right on top of them, chasing forward, has the Spirit Siphon on them. Heroes getting brought down off of the backline as Grunt XD trying to finish it off. The stomp is not going to be enough, and 4 heroes fall on the side of Empyrean Eagles as they look to catch R10 off guard. It ends up going awry for them. Now Tala hops up the high ground with the help from Grunt XD, is going to find the kill on Virgil as well. Now 22 minutes in, suddenly R10, they're the ones running up the dire high ground. They get the Fortify out, that's going to encourage them to look elsewhere, so they're going to go steal the Tormentor, pick up a free Aghanim Shard for somebody on their team. It's going to be Azrael. Husk Aghanim Shard extending the depth of that Ice Shards.
Middle tower is
had the chance to go to the Earthshaker, which would have been really nice for Tala, since Isonic already bought theirs. But the Tusk one ain't bad.
Got it.
middle tower is under attack.
Virgil getting pinged out, Tala making a rotation over, and the Elder Titan's going to be in a bit of trouble here.
Killing spree.
As the Blink Dagger duo gets on top of the Elder Titan and brings him down.
Blessings
Top
upon a
tower is
loyal
under
warrior.
attack.
Witchblade, Blink Dagger finished on Puck, looking towards the
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Erasma with the Mystic Staff into the Witchblade, and then a Kaya Sanj. Is this a Kaya on the way? Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is
I ready to go too. So big damage from Senku potentially.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Manta, Dragonlance are ready to go on Luna. Gonna look towards the BKB next. Gonna be quite important for them
Interesting.
to be able to survive these fights. Manta Style almost ready on Abaddon as well. Vladimir's offering picked up by Virgil, so some more lifesteal for their right-clicking cores. It's gonna be pretty handy for keeping them alive in these fights. Nice little pickup for Virgil.
Tower is under attack.
The last of the tier 2s getting targeted now by R10
Illusion!
as they look to bring this one down.
Dire's top tower is no more.
Looks like the next objective for R10 is going to be Roshan. Should be pretty uncontested. Not the Exorcism, but they won't even need it. Save that for their push. Virgil gonna come up here to try to scout this out. Could set up something spicy here, but no teammates in the area follow up on it. Yeah, the Rosh is going to fall just as the Astral Spirit walks in.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Azrael actually spotting out where the Astral Spirit goes, and Mini sticks around.
Killing
Virgil
ownage.
gonna get found, brought down. Killing spree for Mini. Down bot, Tala finding Karma. Getting run down by the curse, but doesn't quite get to the 4 stacks. Now we'll get the silence
Dominating, I guess.
on
Nah.
Death Prophet, but not able to live. Borrowed time already spent. R10 continue finding these kills across the map. Senku trying to do some split pushing. A little bit of a funny spot. He's actually going to step up to farm this camp, so Grent XD will see the puck. Silences before they can get the jaunt off, but actually able to blink out somehow?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Silence.
Yeah, now able to fully escape. No chance to chase the puck there. As the Disperser is finished on Medusa, my goodness. This snake is pretty massive. This is a tier 3 tower with the illusions. It's just gonna fall. There's nothing they can do, and there's an Aegis on this Medusa as well. Looking like a flip script of last game suddenly. 27 minutes in, not quite the 20-minute high ground push that we saw from Empyrean Eagles, but it's a full set of barracks. Nice deny from Kuroko. I see you. Pretty cheeky. Mini now getting a little caught up on the high ground. There is a Diffusal Blade on the Abaddon, so they have the tools to get the damage out. The Disperser is going to give Mini the space they need to escape. Just enough mana. Meanwhile, on the back,
Oh, nah.
gonna find Virgil again. Tala just able to escape. Down to about 100 health, but lives
That was unreal.
through the damage.
Ownage.
And then they find Senku with the fissure.
Middle tower is under attack.
Azrael is up with Mini in the front. Still on ton of mana, but now the blink in with the Shivas from Grent XD. MCDC is going to turn with the BKB Eclipse, so Grent XD is getting brought pretty low, but still applying the pressure. Tala in with the fissure, but they're low too and taking hits from 3 different towers.
Dire's
Does
middle
manage
tower
to
is
escape on
under
low
attack.
health once again. 200 that time. R10 feeling themselves a little bit. Playing with some fire, but they'll back off now. Still 2 minutes on this Aegis, so they can look for another high ground push. Especially if Medusa's given some time to re-up on mana. No Exorcism for a bit, so they won't have that for another potential push. Manta is done on Karma. They have the potential. The Diffusal instead of the Echo Saber, they don't have quite the instant curse proc. But still quite fast with the illusions. Yeah, gonna look towards the Blink Dagger next for the Abaddon. Kaya Sanj done on Puck. It'll be the Parasma next.
Thank you, my beauties.
Kuroko has Solar Crest on Vengeful Spirit. Another nice way to buff the Luna and Abaddon. I like how these supports are building. Yeah, Boots of Bearing being queued up by Virgil. Putting as much juice on their cores as they can. The high ground siege continues. A minute left on the Aegis. Mini steps up, is stunned for absolutely ever. Now the Fissure comes down to stun up KMCDC. Clicking away on the backline. The mana is getting chunked away. They just throw whatever they can into Mini. Still has a good amount of mana ready to go, as the Eye of Scotty is not far away for this Medusa. Just turbo farming. Exorcism's back up, so that's going to enable them to keep pushing this. 20 seconds left on the Aegis, so it looks like it's not going to get used here. KMCDC pops the BKB. They have the Dream Coil into the Earth Splitter, and that... Oh, just before the Aegis ends! Tala's now in on the backline with a huge Echo Slam. Kuroko goes down. KMCDC as well. They set up on the Abaddon. a minute without the Luna. They do have the buyback for Abaddon to try to defend this, but Minnie's back up at full after the Aegis. Scotty's on board. It's going to be another set of barracks as the Exorcism finishes. And potential for Mega Creeps here at 30 minutes for R10. They find Virgil over trying to get some vision back up. Tip comes out from Isonic. It's going to be a buyback from Virgil. They want to try to defend this. Empyrean Eagle's not rolling over yet. Now Virgil's stunned up, controlled, and brought down off of the buyback. Still 25 seconds until the Luna's back. Karma trying to create some space for them. Senku's getting in on the backline, does find Isonic. Pulls back in, borrowed time has to get popped. Minnie just sitting in front of all of them. No fear in the world for this Medusa. Senku getting brought low. Able to phase shift away, gets the silence and a jaunt, so will survive for now. Tala doesn't want to let them go. Able to survive for now. Blinks away! Just Puck doing Puck things. Senku's still showing off here. Meanwhile, Minnie just still up on the high ground. Mana low, Minnie could actually die here. Starting to get into the health now. As Azrael goes down, they find Karma. Now Senku in on the backline, tries to finish it off, and they do! The damage over time from the Witchblade does in Minnie. Picks up the Wicked 6 streak. That's a lot of gold for this Puck. So Mega Creeps not yet obtained. There's still a glimmer of hope on the side of Empyrean Eagles. That chart starting to come back their way from being at 94%.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Let's see. Have any fun new items? You have Aghanim Shard on the Vengeful Spirit. That's a big one for the bouncing stun. Crit stick up on Luna. Oh, that's interesting. I've not seen a Conda build on Luna, but I like it. You get the crits for your attacks and your Lucent Beam. Starts applying your attack damage. That seems pretty strong to me. Just about 200 gold away from being able to finish off the phylactery for it. Virgil gonna start getting vision. Roche is about to respawn. Or is about to, yeah. Okay, it just came off the timer. Fixed timer, so now we get the random timer, which is just over a minute. Here in Eagles, they're gonna look to control this area. See if they can sneak a Roche here. But meanwhile, R10 smoked up. They're focused on the barracks, so you might have to worry about trading Megas if you want to get this Roche. Yeah, they're going to teleport back because they see this creep wave coming in, even without seeing the heroes under the smoke. Yeah, here comes the Exorcism. Rentex D and go right up the high ground. Still in the smoke. Tala jumps forward, looking for somebody in the trees. Blinks right back, has the Aghanim Scepter to jump around with. The Exorcism finishes off one barrack. Minnie chipping away at the other. Down to half health. Even defending, can they stop R10 from getting Megas? They cannot. The barracks goes down. Now they jump in with the Echo Slide. Nice swap to save, but it's right into Grunt XD. Hiroko trying to live, but will get brought down. Gives up their life to save KMCDC. Fissure kind of blocks off their own team. Is now R10. Barracks acquired. They look to back away. One step closer to closing this out and moving on to the group stage. We got the Mantodon on the Abaddon. Force Staff being worked on for Kuroko. Now R10, they're going to be the ones that find Roche. Let's give the Roar. We'll tell Empyrean Eagles this is being taken, but just the raw damage they have, especially tag team added in there, should be pretty quick. Not really a chance to contest for Empyrean Esports. He'll pick up a new Aegis for Mini. Cheese as well. Kind of 3 lives on this Medusa because almost a full mana restore is so much for Medusa. Yeah, Smoke Up, they want to come back in top. Weaves aren't really pushed in their favor, as Empyrean do have good tools to get map control back when R10 focus on an objective like Roche. Mini, way in the back line, actually, Smoke does break, so they see them. Stun up onto KMCDC with the Fissure. Got the Lotus ready to go on Mini. Karma now going to blink forward, has the Blink Dagger down on Abaddon, tries to get the Curse going on Mini. Doesn't quite connect, and now is the one in trouble. Not quite going to need borrowed time as they get off another Aquatic Shield. Throws out the Illusory Orb. Still just testing the waters. Mini a little bit low on mana. They have been able to put a good amount of damage into this Medusa already. Throwing Lucent Beams into the Lotus Orb. Now they get on top of Brent. With the Abaddon Illusions, but has the Yules to dispel off the curse. So able to live for now. Senku's still scouting out on the side. Looking for a way into the back lines. There's just so much mobility. You have Ogre Seal Totem on top of everything else from Earthshaker. The Disperser on the Medusa. You got the Snowball that can get anybody out. But all in all, they're able to hold. Still plenty of time with this Aegis. Ooh, and an Amplified Damage Rune. That is a scary thing for this Medusa to have. Still a bit too low on mana to go for a push with it immediately. R10 will just continue to hold the dire side of the map. Empyrean held fully in their base. R10 just keeping these waves pushed in. Aren't able to make more of a push with the damage Empyrean timing. Just looking to get Mini back up to full mana for making a push. Maybe also waiting out the Exorcism cooldown. Yeah, that comes off cooldown and they're looking to make a play. Have Echo Slam ready to go. How do they find their way into this high ground? It's going to be with a smoke. The creeps push in. They'd love to get a pick, but Empyrean... Ooh, if they can find Karma off on the side here. Now they jump in onto the puck with the Echo Slam, not quite able to finish the job. Puck will escape. Virgil's going to go down. Kuroko as well. KMCDC falling low even through the BKB. Damage from Mini is just too big. Buyback on the Luna. They've tried to defend. They get the Dream Coil onto 2. Grent XD actually in a bit of trouble here. Trying to escape. They get into the Snowball, and that will get them out safely. Mini turns their attention towards the Tier 4 towers. With Empyrean fully pushed into their fountain, they need to find a way to push some of these heroes off. They only have their 3 cores, and now the damage from Mini, it's way too much. KMCDC goes down. Karma as well. And R10, they do it. GG's called. R10 are going to be the ones moving on to the group stage. Very impressive performance for this squad. That was a very fun series. We had R10 battling it out to take game 1, Empyrean crushing it in game 2, and then R10 making that slow, steady push for the win on the back of this stand-in Medusa. We had a very good game on the Medusa. 15, 3, and 12. Tala's Earthshaker was really good too. I think, 9-2-25. I mean, once again, it was truly a team effort. Hard to pick an MVP. I think I have to give it to Tala. Because that Earthshaker performance really set them up for success. That early game start, beating the puck in lane, really got their game off to a great start for R10, and that kind of got the snowball rolling. So I'll give it to them. Alright, that does it for our qualifier round. From here we go into the group stage, so we're going to see more of R10 right away. They're going to be playing... let's see, groups round 1 swapped. They're going to be playing ANXGel Esports, who we had the pleasure of casting for our last TD. Yeah, that'll be fun. Stay tuned for that one. Looking forward to seeing more of R10. It should be a good time.